May your morning be colorful, joyful, and blessed. This is Mrs. Rose and V. Parane from Payapa National High School, and join me today as we discuss the learners' activities in the 2020 online and self-guided PFA or Psychological First Aid modules. To start with module number 1, validating feelings and normalizing reactions, that can be found in PFA module page 24, activity titled Graphing Feelings. For the Psychological First Aid module general objectives, we have 7 objectives to be attained. First, to provide teachers and non-teaching staff with a quick reference and guide regarding the proper conduct of PFA when delivered either online or through self-guided modules. Second, to equip teachers with additional skills needed in the delivery of online PFA and PFA through self-guided modules. Third, to further develop the competence of the user in delivering PFA using other platforms. Fourth, to provide students with a venue by which they can discuss their fears, feelings, and anxieties. Fifth, to enable students to manage their feelings and refrain their thoughts. Sixth, to empower students to look for linkages to services that could help others. And the last but not the least, to allow students to focus on their strength and support system during a fearful and worrisome time. According to our Secretary Lenore Magtulis-Briones, in this noble mission, the Department of Education has been responding to current challenges by preparing our teachers, learners, and parents in this new normal education. Sa paghahanda upang maipagpatuloy ang edukasyon, maglalaan ang kagawaran ng angkop na proteksyon at gagawa ng mabisang aksyon para sa ating mga kabataan at kababayan. Aside from offering different modalities for distance and home-based learning, this coming school year 2020-2021, one of our advocacies focus on safeguarding the mental health of our learners. We must ensure that they will be able to cope with the stresses brought about by the pandemic and transition to the new normal. Welcome to Module 1, Validating Feelings and Normalizing Reactions. But before we start and we proceed to our activity for today, I want you to have and look at your materials or handout, which will be found on page 24. I want you to prepare your notebook and pen, and don't forget to take down notes. To start with, let me ask you, kamusta kayo? Kamusta na mga bata? This is a strange crisis situation that we are all experiencing. Don't you agree? So how are you? Are you okay? Or not okay? Were you not okay 3 months ago but okay now? Can you share me your feelings or thought today? Okay. So, can I ask you to identify about 5 feelings or emotions that you have experienced during the past few months, weeks, or days? I'll give you time to think about it and write it on your notebook. You're going to write your 5 feelings or emotions that you have felt for the past few months, weeks, or days. You just have to choose top 5 emotions that you have felt for the recent times. So, alam ko marami kayong naramdaman or emosyon, pero pipili lang kayo ng top 5. If you're done, you can share your work and let's analyze. For this activity, graphing feelings, using the sheet of paper, you're going to create a graph or a pie chart of feelings, emotions that you have or may have had during all the crisis situations that you experience. Here is an example. On the x-axis, you're going to write each of the feelings or emotions. On the y-axis, you're going to write the numbers 25, 50, 75, and 100 to represent the percentage of time that you were feeling that way. By this time, I am asking you 5. So you can have the numbers 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. Then rate each emotions based on how much or how often you would feel that way over the past few months, weeks, or days. Okay, so let's analyze your answer from our first activity. What were the feelings that were mentioned a lot? Write this down on your notebook. Second, what did you notice about your reactions to the different situations? Are these normal reactions to everything that you experience? Okay, so I have here a table of common reactions of students to stressful events. These are the common reactions of students to stressful events. A feeling of strong responsibility to the family, feel anxious brought about by uncertainty of the future, feel intense or prolonged grief for not being able to wake, may become self-absorbed and feel self-pity, may experience changes in their relationship with other people, may also start taking risks, engage in self-destructive behavior, and have avoidant behavior, and become aggressive. May experience major shift in their way of the world, accompanied by a sense of hopelessness about the present and the future. May become authorities and parents while they start relying on peers for socialization through social media. May feel guilty and anxious having been separated from their loved ones due to lockdown. Okay, so if you felt those feelings, I want you to know that all of your feelings, all your reactions for the past days are valid. To validate is to affirm that these feelings are happening. I want you to say to yourself, it is okay that I felt this way. It is okay not to be okay. I want you to know that all your feelings are real and true. And that all of those, they are normal feelings. They are normal because other people may also share the same feeling, but the intensity of feeling is uniquely yours. Tell yourself, all these are normal feelings. Normal lang ang pakiramdam ko. Okay, so I want you to share with you a document called When a Terrible Things Happen. Please read it because it can help you better identify your reaction, and it also gives you a list of behaviors that you should try to avoid. So for this Module 1 handout, when terrible things happen, these are the immediate reactions. So there are a wide variety of positive and negative reactions that students can experience during the immediately after crisis situation. So this includes the following. So we have here the table and 3 columns. On the first column, we have the domain, the negative responses for the second column, positive responses on the third. Second column is for the negative responses, and the third column is the positive responses. So on the domain, we have 4. We have the cognitive, emotional, social, and physiological. So for the cognitive domain, for the negative responses, we have confusion, worry, and self-blame. On the positive responses, we have determination, courage, optimism, and faith. For the emotional domain, we have negative responses like shock, sorry, grief, sadness, fear, anger, numb, irritability, guilt, and shame. Well, on the other hand, the positive responses to this emotional feeling is feeling involved, challenged, and mobilized. For the social domain, we have some negative responses like fight with others or does not speak with others. While on the positive responses, seeks out other who can help them, helps other in need. On the physiological domain, we have the responses like negative responses like tired, headache, muscle tension, stomach ache, difficulty sleeping, fast heartbeat. Well, on the positive responses, we have alertness, readiness to respond, and increase energy. The common negative reactions that may continue include distressing thought or images of the event while awake or dreaming, upsetting emotional or physical reaction to remind of the experience, feeling like the experience is happening all over again, or ang tinatawag nating flashback. You're avoiding talking, thinking, and having feelings about the traumatic event. You're avoiding reminders of the event, katulad ng mga places and people connected sa mga nangyari before. Restricted emotions, or feeling numb, feeling of detachment and estrangement from others, or social withdrawal, or ayaw mo nang makisama sa karamihan ng tao. Loss of interest in usually pleasurable events or activities. These samples or responses are from physical arousal reactions. Constantly being on the lookout for danger, starting easily or being jumpy, irritability or outbursts of anger, feeling on edge, difficulty falling or staying asleep, problems concentrating or paying attention. Parang wala ka sa focus. Next, these are the reactions to those trauma and loss reminders. Reaction to places, people, sights, sound, smell, and feelings that are reminders of the disaster. Reminders that can bring on distressing mental images, thoughts, and emotional and physical reactions. These are the common examples. Sudden loud noise, sirens, locations where the disaster happened, seeing people with disabilities, funeral, anniversaries of the disaster, and television or radio news about the disaster. So here are the positive changes in priorities, worldviews, and expectations. You may read the following responses. When the loved one dies, these are the common reactions. What helps? Ano ba ang mga bagay na or mga responses na makakatulong sa'yo? What doesn't help? Ano naman yung mga responses na hindi makakatulong sa iyo? Today, we learned that our reactions to the pandemic, to any stressful event or disaster, are normal and valid. How can you apply this learning to your life, especially because the pandemic is not yet over? Always remember, it's okay not to be okay. Thank you for watching.